He said, put on the whole armor of God. The proverb says that the mothers who have sons fighting in the Colosseum in Rome at that time, if somebody have gone to the mother and said, I saw your son on the street, they would not believe. Why? Because once a son, as a gladiator, going to the Colosseum to fight, they are not supposed to come out alive. So here, Paul draw these references. I won't bother go into the different meaning of the different armor, part of the armor, because of time. And so you have arrived, and so Paul is encouraging us to be strengthened in the Lord. And the reason for that is that he picked it up by saying, this is not a physical fight. He said, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness, against principalities, wickedness, and so on. So in other words, we are in a spiritual fight. And as I say from time to time, flesh can't fight spirit. Flesh cannot fight spirit. It's spirit go against spirit. And so it means, because we are Christian, the Spirit of God, the Holy Spirit will do the fighting for us. Okay? And so here is where a lot of people make the mistake, is that when we have to be having difficulty, the first thing the enemy tells us not to come to church. Then he goes on to say, everybody down there are hypocrites. And he go on and on and on. Because if he can have you to withdraw from your brethren to where you can get strength, he got you. Because the Bible says we shouldn't forsake the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is. Because what? Iron sharpeneth iron. And so I want to again stress on it. You know, be strong in the Lord. How are you going to get that strength? If you stay by yourself, you'll never get strength. Now, we read in the Bible again where the devil is out, like a roaring lion, seeking him who may devour. And here again is a kind of metaphor that is really connecting the enemy with the characteristics of the lion. Because as much as we heard about the lion, the strongest animal in the jungle, the lion does not rely on his strength. The lion, what he uses is a kind of trick. He stalks his prey. In other words, the lion will follow his prey for miles. And when he does that, they move in groups. We see here where the Bible is telling us that we wrestle against flesh and blood, against principalities and powers and so on. These are names of the devil's servants, the devil's angels. And we've got to understand this. These are titles given to the devil angels. And so when the lion stalks his prey, they move out in groups and he make that roar. And so when the Bible said the devil is like a roaring, and he used that roar to confuse his prey. So I'm saying to you all this evening that one of the things that the devil uses to capture us is confusion. And so the devil at all times will get us confused. You're going through a problem and the first you say, I don't know what to do. I am so confused. Once you are confused, that's what the devil wants. And that's what the devil gets us. Okay? But as we move on down to the text, I want to draw your attention to the book of Genesis. And I'm looking at Genesis 50 and verse 20. where Joseph said to his brother, you thought this for evil, but God meant it for good. What am I saying? The brothers already sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites. And we know he was bought by this man named Potiphar. Okay? But all of this was in God's plan. And I hasten to say this evening that all that you are going through, you are in the plan of God. Nothing surprises God. God doesn't sleep. He doesn't make a mistake. He knows exactly what he's doing. And so I would encourage you and myself to be strengthened in the Lord. Because this that is happening to you is not a surprise to God. He called us from the ruined field of sin, and we are here. Okay? And he knows that we are here. He knows what we are going through. I look at Ephesians 2 and verse 4. And if you have a Bible, you could turn it with me. And there is 2 words there that is very, very important. 2 and verse 4 that I want to draw your attention to. But God. But God. And so the reason why I use that, you know, we struggle through things at times. And the devil thought he would have gotten us, but God. But God. And all times, but God. And David writing one of the texts, when God brought us through, it was like a dream. And so I'm saying to myself and you this evening, is to be strengthened the Lord. Because God, in his infinite mercy, is carrying you through. Now, at the early part of my text, you remember I told you that this is what happened. The brethren are going to fight in Ephesus because Paul brought Christianity down there. And everything started to change. And anytime you accept Christ, your life changes. And once that happens, everything gonna move east, west, north, and south. But that's how God planned it a lot of times. Now I'm jumping down quickly in the process of time because I have to give a very short thought. And I'm looking at verse 19. I remember at Ephesians 6 and verse 19. Here was what Paul was saying to the brethren. As for me, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel. Now, this is it. Once fear struck you, once fear hold on to you, it's a plan of the enemy to struck you with fear. Fear doesn't come from God. Fear coming from the devil. You may see in the Bible, fear the Lord, so and so, but that means respect. It's a different meaning there. But the devil show fear upon us, especially in this time of pandemic, where some are out of a job, the bills can't be paid. All those who used to probably go to the supermarket and push the trolley, you can't push the trolley again. You have to hold a little basket and pick up 1 or 2 little items, because the money not flowing. And so all this sort of fear come upon you. Enough money are not there to send the kids to school. So, you know, you have to cut back here and cut back there. And so the devil wants to drive fear on you. You know, but Paul was saying that the brethren, you know, should pray. So I mean, that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of God, of the gospel. And what's the gospel? The gospel is good news. And we are in it, and our life, brethren, you have to understand, is a mystery. Sometimes we can't understand it. A lot of time we can't understand it. And if you notice, God, in his infinite mercy, a lot of times allow his servant to do some crazy things. Because that's how the Holy Spirit works at times. And I can even draw one reference here. Look at the children of Israel marching around Jericho. They were vibrant soldiers, but God said, no, put up those, just walk around here. Don't do nothing, just walk around. That's look crazy. And so there are times the Holy Spirit will lead us in a particular direction or tell us to do something, and it look crazy to us. But we have to learn to obey the Spirit of God. And once you obey the Spirit of God, we can't go wrong. Be strong in the Lord. Verse 20 says, for which I am an ambassador in bonds. Watch this now. After a while, theologian believes that Paul wrote these texts while he was in prison in Rome. And so the point about it here, he's saying he's still an ambassador for Christ. I work at the embassy for 10 years. And my job was to drive the ambassador, 10 years. And I can tell you, being an ambassador is a lot of weight upon you. Why? Because you represent the country. And so here we are as Christians. We are royal priesthood. We are peculiar people. We're a whole nation. And the word Christian means that we are Christ-like. So at all times, whether young or old or married or single, people are looking to us and expect us to walk a Christ-like life. We are ambassadors for Christ. We can't, just go on like anyone in the street. Our behavioral pattern have to be right there because the world is looking at us. We have to be perfect example because we are royal priesthood, we are peculiar people, we are holy nation, we are ambassador for Christ, we are representative of Christ. And that's what Paul was saying. So although we might not in a quote unquote literal bond, literal prison, but there are times we feel like we're in prison because of life, because of situation. But that still shouldn't stop us from being an ambassador for Christ. Anywhere we go, we should be an ambassador for Christ. Remember where I started from? Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. I'm encouraging you this evening. And so, without any further ado, in my closing off here,